Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Heath, and today we're going to be doing a different kind of video. It is gaming related. It is not tech related, or it's not Star Wars related, but it revolves around a game that I have played for almost 20 years, well, actually for 20 years now, since 2004 and it was released, and that is World of Warcraft. We're going to go over some of my favorite add-ons that I use, and maybe you can share some of the add-ons that you like down in the comment section below. But if this video does well, we'll do some more World of Warcraft content. If not, we'll dump it and we'll move back to our regularly scheduled content. Anyway, let's jump in here and let's show you some of my favorite add-ons that I use for World of Warcraft. All right, so the first add-on we are going to look at is BenikUI. It is an Elvui modified layout. I used to create my own layout for World of Warcraft, UI, that was based off of TuckUI. But I mean, pretty much everybody knows Elvui or TuckUI. But BenikUI has a lot of really nice features. The layout is more in line with the style that I've always used, but there are just so many features inside of Benik. And as you can see, I also have shadow and light. That is simply for the top location panel at the top, but everything else is disabled inside of shadow and light. But there are a lot of different options inside of BenikUI. It is pretty much almost identical, a little bit more flashy than my UIs. I can throw an old screenshot of it up if you want to get a look at it from what it was with TuckUI. But I just got tired of making it, spending all that time when I can have one that would work just as well and look almost identical to the one I was using. But again, Elvui, TuckUI, BenikUI, I've used all of them throughout the years, but I've just really gotten attached to using BenikUI lately, just simply because easy to set up, easy to install, and a few modifications that I've done to it myself to make it more my style. But this is what BenikUI looks like pretty much straight out of the box. Now let's get into the real list of add-ons that I've used throughout the years. And the first one we're going to be looking at is Addon Control Panel. Doesn't seem like a whole lot, but Addon Control Panel has been a lifesaver for me simply because it organizes everything inside of the Addon Control Panel. You can disable and enable add-ons very, very easily. In my opinion, it offers a lot more features than the default, add-on control panel. And you can create sets. So if you're doing a specific, number of things, like I used to have it set up whenever I was really heavily involved in doing an auction house, that the only things that were enabled were, things like Auctionator or Trade Skill Master. You can create sets of add-ons that you want to have running at a specific time. And all you do is go in here, choose a set, load it, and it'll load that set of add-ons for you inside of the game and disable all the other ones that you don't want to have enabled. But again, Addon Control Panel doesn't seem like a whole lot on the surface, but for me, it is absolutely one of my favorite add-ons. And honestly, I couldn't live without it now that I've gotten used to it, probably for the past 10, 12 years, I guess. The next one we're going to look at is BetterWardrobe. A friend of mine introduced me to this add-on, and if you're a transmogger or like to transmog in any shape or fashion, this is going to be the add-on that you want to use. Personally, I have always been a huge transmogger. Once it was introduced into the game, I would actually create characters just to farm a particular set before they introduced transmogging in the game, and then after they did that, I am so thankful for this. But BetterWardrobe, let me show you what it looks like real quick, that we can get an idea. I absolutely love this. Let me mount up. Hold up, wrong one. So this is the layout that you get. This is not the standard layout that comes with the game, but one of the great features about it is it shows all your items, all the sets you currently have, even piece sets that you have inside the game. Then it also shows extra sets, for example, your Wintervale sets and things like that you have already collected that may not be available at a particular time during the year, but it shows all of these sets, and it shows your saved ones that you have saved per character. In this case, you can see all of them right here. But one of the most amazing features that I really love about it is the fact that I can look at my other characters while I'm on this one. So for instance, her name is Chrysania. I can go to, where's my Warlock? There's my Warlock right. And it will show all these sets that I have saved on my Warlock as well. And in the event that I want to choose what I'm going to wear, all I got to do, just like that, boom, boom. But it makes it so much easier to choose. Let's just say this is my Paladin set. And as you can see, it won't let you choose it because she's not a plate wearer. It will let you choose the ones that are effective or that will work. But as you can see, You can't wear any of the plate material, which is a good thing that they have broken it down so that BetterWardrobe can, show you the ones you can use and will modify the ones that you can't use. Okay, so the next one we want to take a look at is Buffet. Buffet is absolutely one of my top, if not my top, that I use on all my characters. And what happens if you notice down here at the bottom, I have in my action bars, it looks like my Hearthstone, there's nothing there. But what happens whenever I create refreshments, it will replace that icon with my food. So there's my conjured mana bun. All I gotta do is press Alt1 and she will drink. But anyway, this is one of the best add-ons in the game. It looks inside all your bags. If you have any food available, it automatically places it in. But let's go ahead and hit escape, go to options, and I'm gonna show you how to set it up. There's options. Let's go to add-ons real quick. And if you notice Buffet, and all you gotta do is click each one of the buttons. If, for example, if you want an HP macro, that's the one that will get, look inside of your bags and fill whatever you have inside of your bag, in this case, conjured mana buns, in that spot. If you have another type of food in there, it will replace it with that. The mana macro will do the exact same thing, just specifically for mana. Food only, drink only, HP transfer, and mana as well. You can create macros for all of those, and what happens is, whenever you click those buttons, go to macro. Inside of your macro box, you will have two macros now. One for auto HP, one for mana. I don't use the mana one for her because her conjured mana buns. But if you have another character that requires mana, I don't really use it any much more because of the way Blizzard has changed the way WoW works and never run out of mana. But also as well, whenever you're in combat, it will replace not the buns, since you can't use them in combat. Let me show you. So we'll go ahead and throw a frost bolt, and as you can see right there, it now has replaced it with a mana potion on there. So now I can just use my health potion whenever I'm in combat. It shows a cooldown on it, and then once you're out of combat, it switches automatically back to whatever your top food is available inside of your bag. And since we're targeting this target dummy, we got pop-ups on the screen now. These are not the ones that are built in the game. These are through WeakAuras from the Wago.io site, and it gives me a little bit more information than I would normally have, just based on this is just my personal preference. I love WeakAuras for all the things they do for different characters, and also the fact that these will not show up on, for my example, my Warlock. It'll only show my Warlock layouts for her, and the majors won't show up. But all these shows on my procs for icicles, for everything that I need inside the game to keep tracking up. And for me personally, it's just a bit more of a visual thing. That way, I don't miss a cooldown or a proc or things like that. Then we have another one of my favorite add-ons, and that is Postal. Postal is by far one of the best mailing options you have in the game. Let me pull up my mailbox real quick, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like. And so you can send mail, you can open all your mail. Favorite thing is, let's say I want to send it to a friend of mine or another character. Let me just type AY, and it will give me a list. I also have a pull down menu as well. That shows you all my alts, shows all my alts in the game that I can send to people in my guild if I want to send them stuff inside the guild, friends that I may have online. Postal is by far one of the best mailing options you have inside of the game. This is probably my favorite, and I think I've used Postal since day one. And it's pretty much not changed. They added a few little features here and there, but for me, Postal is just absolutely one of the best things inside of the game. Another one add-on that I use is the Leatrix Plus. It's a quality of life thing, I guess you could say. But again, it's still one of my favorite add-ons. Just click it in there, automate your quest, repair. A lot of this can be handled from inside of Elvui, but one of the ones that I really enjoy is the fact that you can loot faster. If you notice, sometimes whenever you click the loot, it freezes or stops, and you have to manually click it to take the loot out of there. But faster auto loot, you click on it, and it handles all of that for you. And there are a lot of different options you can disable. Graphics and sound, game options, interface as well, frames. There's just so much you can change inside the game. Automation, automating quests, gossip, releasing you automatically in PvP, selling junk, repair automatically, accept summons, reservations, things of that nature. But again, this is just absolutely one of my favorites, Leatrix Plus. Just primarily, if for nothing else, fixing the way looting works and being able to loot faster when you're out farming or doing things of that nature. Final one we're going to talk about is DBM, and that is daily boss mods. There's other options out there as well, like big wigs. But if you dungeons, PvP, raids, whatever it is, gives you a lot of information in regards to raid fights, boss fights, and just helps you out all along the way whenever you're playing World of Warcraft and whatever you're doing. But you can swap it out with like I said, big wigs, daily boss mods, any of the ones. They're just an absolute must when it comes to any kind of things like I said, raiding or doing dungeons or even PvP for that example. I want to include some honorable mentions as well. These are just some that I use for just my personal taste. Well, let me go in add-ons real quick. We also have add-on skins. Add-on skins just change the skins inside of a game. Autoholic is a great way to track all the alts and their materials. I was actually using this to track my playtime. AutoQuest, I was using that until I installed Leatrix Plus. Another worth mentioning is Auctionator. Auctionator is just a simple, straightforward, auction house modifier. Makes posting and selling things on auction house really easy if you're into more advanced things. Whereas like I was, Trade Skill Master is another great option. It is a lot more complex, but it automates a lot of things and allow you to really work the auction house if that's what your plan is. Bulk mail is another good alternative to Postal. Doesn't have quite as many features as Postal does, but it still does the job really well. Again, Elvui, there's Leatrix we have listed. Sexy Map is just strictly for appearances. Shared media, if you want to change the fonts inside the game by using Elvui and things like that. I've got my own set of custom fonts that I use. SCADA, if you're looking for a damage meter, there's Recount. There's also details as well. I've always used SCADA. I don't know why. I used to use Recount years ago, but memory leaked with it, and I just never went back to using Recount. TomTom is great for questing. It pops a little error up on your screen whenever you're getting ready to, turn a quest, looking for a quest. But these are some of my favorite add-ons that I use inside of a game. Let me know down in the comment section below. What add-ons are you using inside of World of Warcraft? If you're using any add-ons at all, and what are some of your favorites? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, we'll make more about World of Warcraft. If not, we'll dump it. We'll move on to something else. As always, much love, peace out, and we'll see you soon, y'all.